Isyu One-on-One.
Serbisyo alang sa tanan o Salta Canlaon. Ito ang linyang bukang-bibig ng mga naninirahan sa isang payak na komunidad sa hilagang bahagi ng Negros Oriental, ang siyudad ng Canlaon. Nitong Hulyo nang ipinagdiwang ng Canlaon City ang ika-53 anibersaryo ng pagiging ganap ng lungsod nito. Sa loob ng higit 5 dekada, dumaan sa hindi mailarawang pagbabago ang Canlaon at pangunahing sumisimbolo sa tatag at tikas ng mga taga-Canlaon ay ang pulkang matatagpuan sa lupain ito, ang Mount Canlaon. Kinikilala bilang tahanan ng isa sa mga aktibong bulkan sa bansa. Ang Mount Canlaon ang saksi sa iba't ibang istorya ng pag-asa na pinagdaanan ng nasabing lungsod. Hindi biro ang nakaraang nakaukit sa kasaysayan ng Canlaon. Malimit na ikabit sa pangalan nito ang malaking problema sa insurensiya. Sa mga nagdaang dekada, madalas na maging laman ng balita ang Canlaon dahil sa mga insidente ng karahasan na pinaniniwalaang kagagawan ng mga NPA. Walang sinisino ang krimen, sibilyan man o maging opisyal ng pamahalaan, nakaranas ng bagsik ng mga rebelde. Kabilang narito ang dating alkalde ng Canlaon City na si Mayor Jose Cardenas na napaslang ng mga NPA noong 2001. Dulot ng mga insidenteng ito, hindi maialis sa mga residente ang mangamba sa kanilang kaligtasan. Isa lamang ito sa patuloy na nireresolba ng pamahalaan, kasabay ng pagtugon sa iba't ibang pangangailangan ng mga residente dito, na ngayon pinangungunahan ng kasalukuyang alkalde nito na si Mayor Jose Chubasco Cardenas. Sa edisyong ito ng Isyu One-on-One, ating nakapanayam ang bagong ama ng siyudad ng Canlaon. Kumusta na nga ba ang pamumuhay sa bayang ito? Paano nga ba isinasabuhay ng pamahalaan ang pangako nito na serbisyo para sa lahat sa gitna ng mga isyong sumusupil sa hinahangad nitong kaunlaran para sa kanilang bayan?
Diretsahan tayo, Mayor.
Okay po, Cesar.
Kayo po ay pamilya, angkan ng mga politiko. Yung tatay ninyo ay naging mayor, yung nanay nyo, yung kapatid nyo ay barangay official, at kayo naman ngayon ang mayor. What is it in public service na gustong-gusto talaga ng angkan ninyo?
It so happen na kami ni Papa close sa family para ako yung pet niya na dala-dalahin kung saan-saan siya pumupunta.
Okay.
So I always stay by his side, listening to their conversation. And I learned public service during that time.
So you were inspired by your parents?
Yes, slowly, myself was being teach during that time kasi pag politics, wala naman tayong alam sa nung kaliitan pa natin.
Graduate kayo ng course ng agriculture.
Oo.
Was it a dream or ito yung gusto ng tatay mo para sa'yo?
No, si Papa kasi, siya yung tipong hindi nagmamandate ko na yung course mo.
You grew up in an area na napakalayo at sinasabi noon, maraming NPA. Tell us what happened in the 1980s dito sa lugar niyo. Magulo ba? Palagi ka bang may kaba ng dibdib? Tell us what happened dito.
Sparrow unit yung maririnig namin nung araw eh. May spinaro doon na police, may spinaro doon na may encounter, may dinadala na patay doon sa munisipyo. Kasi nung araw ganun eh, hindi direkta sa City Health.
Okay.
Binababa doon in front of the City Hall.
Binababa yung mga patay sa munisipyo?
Oo, makikita namin doon.
Sino yung mga patay?
Narinig namin, mga sa NPA, may sundalo din.
Okay, okay.
Ano?
So magulo.
Magulo
Okay.
during that time.
Your father, who served Canlaon for how many years, isang magaling na mayor, according to the people of Canlaon, was ambushed, and it saddened me to know na isang magaling na mayor. Can you recall? Ano ba talaga nangyari?
Actually, recalling those days, it pains me a lot. It's because by that time, he instructed me not to enter politics. Kaya, because sabi niya, magnegosyo ka na lang dyan, okay ka na. yung kapatid mo dito, tapos yung magulang mo dito din. So sila na. I was saddened by news when my younger brother called na ganito nangyari kay Papa. So wala akong magawa. Ako lang mag-isa doon and I have to travel alone, traveling 166 kilometers by yourself. So in-advise na dyan ka muna dahil baka meron pa.
Paano mo tinanggap yun?
At first, I tend not to believe. Actually, kung hindi ko makita. Dahil I see my father as a strong man.
Anong sila namatay, diba?
Including my auntie, including our driver, and our bodyguard ni Papa na kababata niya rin na sila talaga. So, parang I am on a denial during that time. Pag hindi ko makita, hindi ako maniniwala si Papa is very strong. So,
the military is saying it was the NPA killed your dad.
The military was saying that it was an NPA. Okay, it was an ambush. But although there are rumors during that time that my father has a threat. Because yung ginagawa nila, may tinatawag na paskin, sinusulat na ikaw na yung target.
Okay. And we were informed na yung tatay nyo raw ay nagpa-surrender ng maraming mga hardcore NPAs. Ang galing ng tatay nyo, mga hardcore talaga. Ano ba yung talagang nakikita mo sa tatay nyo na pabilib at na-convince niya yung mga rebelde? So, napakaraming rebelde kasi marami siya napa-surrender.
Yes, he is really that smart. It's because during that time, the city has an era of, I think, 140 million plus.
Okay.
And he developed a program called Rebel Returnees. So doon sa Rebel Returnees, pag baba mo sa bundok, pinapatrabaho ka ng gobyerno, tapos yung trabaho mo is tree planting and tree growing.
Okay.
So kung makikita mo ang the area of Budlasan, Lumapaw, Bukalan, other area, there were more than 100,000 trees planted, aging 25 years now. So meaning, hindi lang tree planting yung ginawa niya, so pati yung nurturing at saka tree growing.
Okay. So mga NPA yung pera niya?
Yung mga bumaba,
okay.
Binigyan sila ng trabaho para livelihood program nila. So in which it is very effective.
Do you have a personal knowledge that your dad was really opposed in, magbigay ng pera sa NPA at sumuporta doon?
During that time, I have no knowledge because elementary days and high school days, makikita ko na merong pumupunta dito may dalang armas. So, akala ko army. Doon pala, NPA na nagsusurrender sa kanya. So, tino-turn over niya sa police or sa army. So, wala na akong alam doon. Makikita ko lang dito sa bahay. Pumupunta, tapos dinidiscreet nila sakayin mo na sa sasakyan. Dinadala doon sa mga military officer.
And during the time, you said there were 36 mayors nationwide that were killed. Saan ka ba nakakuha ng impormasyon na yun?
Based on the news, because I was college. I'm already college during that time.
Okay.
Sana 33 or 36 if I'm not mistaken.
Lahat sila kasama tatay mo?
Yes.
They were
being
ambushed.
No, because they...
buong bansa yun?
Buong bansa, because they were not supportive to the leftist or the CPP-NPA.
But it was really an orchestrated, a grand plan na patayin ang mga mayors.
Based on my opinion, they wanted to make the government feel their presence. Kasi merong mga rumors na pawala na sila and merong rumors na they are asking for taxes.
At dito sa Negros, home base nila, marami talaga.
Nila.
Marami mag-guerrilla fronts.
Marami mag-guerrilla fronts. And si Papa during that time was being accused by the guerrilla fronts or the legal fronts of the CPP-NPA. For 37 cases and it was all dismissed during that
Bakit
time.
anong ginawa daw?
Human rights violations, etc., etc.
Kasi matapang tatay mo
Ini-impose niya kasi yung law So,
matapos maambos yung tatay mo, hindi mo pinigilan ng nanay mo na maging mayor?
nung nangyari kasi doon, on the decision making, hindi kasi talaga kami yung merong weight.
Did your mother receive threats from the NPA again?
Yes, right after. Right after na she sat as mayor,
marami na
pag-upo
naman.
niya, so meron na namang threat. Dahil na-continue yung mga programs until such time that the threat died down naturally.
Okay.
Dahil yung mga programa ng gobyerno pumasok na, so
Okay.
maybe hindi na sila makapenetrate.
Mayor, it was really a long story, but you are now the mayor.
Okay.
Here comes EO70 of President Duterte and his pronouncement that the real threat nowadays is the NPA.
Yes.
Paano mo to win-welcome at ano ang reaction mo dito
Yes,
sa takbo ng panahon?
I take it holistically. No, reading the EO speaks that this is a whole of the nation approach.
Okay.
Dapat lahat na cities and municipalities should adopt this particular EO number 70, whether you are under an LCAC city or LCAC LGU.
Paglabas ng EO70,
Yes.
ikaw ng mayor, did you ever think na ito na yung time na makapaghiganti ako sa mga NPA na sinasabi na pumatay sa tatay ko because I have to do this strategy para mawala na sila?
What I have really in mind, it's not about vengeance.
Okay?
No, it's about how you make the program coming from the government reach to the
It's not about vengeance, pero ngayon na lang yun. Pero when your dad was ambushed,
Yeah, syempre,
that time, gusto mong gumante.
Yung gusto natin gawin, pag may nakita ka na NPA, i-report mo kaagad sa army, report mo kaagad. You cannot do anything
Okay.
as a child or as a young man.
Bakit nga nila? Anong motibo? Dahil nagpa-surrender siya ng marami.
Isa yon at saka yung ginagamit siya na spokesperson ng Philippine Army sa pulong-pulong dahil malakas yun.
Okay.
May pananawagan siya palagi na bababa na kayo. Kailangan nating mag-usap dahil ang gobyerno, iaabot niya yung tulong nyo ng gobyerno sa inyo. Dahil yung campaign that time, the propaganda that time na yung gobyerno may pinipili. O yung mga ninuno ng mga kabataan dyan, pinatay ng army, ganito, ganito. So yung mga bata, natuturuan ng mga maling impormasyon.
Okay. With the EO70 now, pupunta-punta kayo sa barangay, ano bang ginagawa nyo ngayon?
Yes,
Para kumbinsihin sila. Were you as effective as your father before? Ikaw ba yung tao na, kasi sabi nila, yung tatay nyo, kung anong sinasabi, tinutupad para
Yes.
hindi ma-discourage yung mga pinapangakuan. Ganyan ka ba ngayon?
Yes, on my end as a city mayor, within my capacity, because EO number 70 speaks for the national project and the local project.
Okay.
Pag sa akin lang, automatic. Kasi bago ko sinasabi sa tao, andyan na yung budget ko eh. Hindi ako tipo na nagsasaad na sasabihin, pupuntahan ko kayo dyan, magdala ako ng bulldozer at
tapos
saka
wala
grader,
naman.
tapos wala naman. So yung sinasabi ko, okay, punta ako dyan, kasama ko yung grader, kasama para ayusin yung daan niyo.
So, what projects have you started so
Yes,
far?
I have projects started despite of this pandemic. I try to balance my work.
Okay.
The implementation of infrastructure project were being suspended during in the month of March. But now it was already lifted, so meron na tayong na-approve. But during that time, I immediately month of December, I immediately bought heavy equipment intended for the city,
Okay.
so I can deliver my graveling, surfacing. to the
Sinasabi nila,
area.
Mayor, dati talagang kasagsagan marami.
Yes.
But right now, it's different.
Yes.
Marami nagsusurrender.
Yes.
In Canlaon, anong naging experience ninyo? May mga surrender failures ba sa'yo? Meron ka ba nahuli na? Talagang nakikita mo na declining na talaga?
As of now, walang surrender. Pero
Dito sa Canlaon.
dito sa Canlaon, pero marami kaming nasi-serve na warrant of arrest.
Kaya ko yan
Na-serve
tinatanong
namin.
kasi in the past months, headline palagi ng Negros Oriental when it comes to mga leftist group, mga human rights violations, ganyan. Hindi rito sa Canlaon yan.
Hindi dito kasi I really do not allow a group of person na humahawak dito. Pag may marinig ako, I always instruct my chief of police to check on that if possible, buwagin na. Mas maaga pa. Dahil I always believe that when there is public safety, there is public order.
Importante po talaga ang suporta ng isang LGU, lalo na sa isang mayor. Pareho po kami ng line of thinking pagdating po ng trabaho. Then yun po yung isa sa tinutukan ko rin na sabi ko, Mayor, ito yung gagawin natin. Lahat po ng programa ng PNP, binibigyan po kami ng suporta ni Mayor po. At saka lahat po ng dati na rito, na double up na po, sir. Basta importante lang, sir, na visible kami sa streets. Importante po, sir, na meron kaming output. Importante po sa safe po yung Canlaon City.
We will always be here to help the local government of Canlaon in preserving and maintaining peace and order in Canlaon. We're very happy that we have a mayor that is so aggressive, so supportive, and so industrious like you. We will work together to uplift the well-being of your constituents.
Halos 2 dekada na ang nakalilipas mula nang pumanaw ang nooy butihing alkalde ng bayan ng Canlaon. At hanggang sa ngayon, hustisya ang hiling ng pamilya Cardenas para sa kanilang padre de pamilya at para sa iba pang mga inosenteng biktima ng rebeldeng grupo. Sa layong masugpo ang paglaganap ng ganitong insidente, noong nakarang taon ng formal na ilunsad ng lokal na pamahalaan ng Canlaon, ang Canlaon City Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict o CTF-LCAC sa pangunguna ni Mayor Chubasco Cardenas. Ito ay alinsunod sa direktiba ng pambansang pamahalaan na wakasan ang ugat ng insurensiya sa bansa sa pamamagitan ng ibayong pagpapaabot ng karampatang serbisyo para sa bawat komunidad na apektado ng insurensiya. Ikinalulugod ni Mayor Cardenas na napili ang Canlaon City bilang prioridad sa implementasyon ng nasabing programa. Dahil dito, mas madaling maipararating ang ilang basic services na matagal ng hiling ng kanilang pamayanan, gaya ng farm-to-market roads, pampublikong ospital at health centers, maayos na patubig, at iba't ibang livelihood programs. Naniniwala ang alkalde na sa pamamaraang ito, kahit papaano'y mabibigyan ng hustisya ang buhay ng mga biktima ng insurensiya at tuluyan ng makakaalpas ang kanilang natatanging bayan mula sa masalimuot nitong nakaraan.
Sa loob ng napakaraming panahon, you were seeking for justice. Hanggang ngayon, uhaw na uhaw ka. Mayor ka na. How are you going to implement? Nahanap mo pa ba? Ikaw ang nagpapaikot sa batas.
Uhaw na uhaw pa rin. Siyempre, dahil during that time na si Mama yung mayor, merong nadakip na kasama sa pag-ambush ng papa ko. And in which, I believe na nagawa na ni Mama yung duty niya in pursuing justice to my father. Now, on my end, I have to make a way and somehow how I can manage to avenge the death of my father.
Pero nasa BGMP na daw yung isang pumatay sa tatay.
Nasa BGMP siya.
Ayaw mong bisitahin?
Yeah, ayaw ko. No? But talking about vengeance, gusto ko i-avenge in a modern way na.
Okay.
Na gusto natin matapos na yung hinaing nila.
Okay.
Why? So, ang kalaban is the organization.
Okay. Natumbok ba ni President Duterte sa pamagitan ng pag-issue ng EU-70 yung tunay na solusyon at epektibo ba ito sa inyo?
Para sa akin, oo. Sincero ang presidente at natumbok niya. No? Dahil grassroots na yung pinapasabi kung anong problema sa barangay.
Ito ba yung hinahanap nyo na kasagutan?
Oo, dapat.
For so long a time, marami natatakot sa military. As you can see now, anong relation nyo sa military? Mapagkatiwalaan na ba? Wala bang mga human rights violations? Kasi nasabi nila, maraming takot sa military. Ngayon, wala na ba yung ganyan?
I can assure you because kung titingnan natin, our military man is highly educated.
Okay.
They have been trained for 4 years in an academy.
Okay.
So, yung mga lieutenant, yung mga captain sila na nag-handle ng company is a very refined officers.
You cannot deny the fact
Yes.
na ipinaglalaban ng mga NPA ang kahirapan, yung pangungurakot sa gobyerno at ang mga maraming pagsasawalang bahala sa pangangailangan ng mga tao. Tell us, dito sa Canlaon, gaano kahirap ang buhay mo? At gaano ginamit ito ng makakaliwang grupo para magalit sa gobyerno?
Ang buhay sa Canlaon nung araw, yung road lang namin it takes almost 1 hour for you to reach Canlaon City from the National Highway.
Okay.
So, ganun
Malapit lang yun?
Oh, malapit lang yun. Sabi na, 15 minutes nga eh.
Okay.
Abot ka na
Okay.
dito.
Okay.
It takes more than 1 hour bago ka abot. Yung mga farms to market roads namin, merong produkto sa itaas na hindi mapababa ng maayos dahil walang madadaanan.
Okay.
So yung mga farm to market roads hindi pa gaano ka-establish during that time.
Wala pa kayong power nun?
Wala pa.
Oh, so nagkakandila lang yata kayo.
Wala pang kuryente no during that time at saka wala pang mga social media na makakaabot unlike now na meron ng Facebook.
So yun yung mga factors na
Isa
talagang
yun sa mga factors.
uminit yung mga tao na tumalikod sa gobyerno.
Oo, na Second factors, dahil sa topography ng area, threaten yung pamamumuhay nila sa taas.
Oh.
Kasi pag andun ka nakatira, kung makita mo yung bulubundukin dyan,
Oh.
wala namang pulis na bibisita sa'yo doon. Wala namang army na bibisita sa'yo doon. Sila lang.
Dati.
Dati, dahil hindi, ang daanan hindi accessible. O walang road access.
So?
With EO number 70, ma-address yun.
Okay.
Roads are being repaired. Easy communication were being provided. So with that, people can report immediately to the police, to the military. And it will only take 30 minutes the most, then the military will get. So their security is not being threatened.
Okay. Mayor, it can be denied also na talagang problema yung livelihood ng mga nasasakupan ninyo. Canlaon is a fourth-class city.
Fourth class.
Nagtataka lang nga ako na naging city kayo, nakikita ko, hindi siya masyadong maraming mga buildings, dun sa inasahan, isang syudad. Paano nga ba kayo naging syudad?
Okay, just to go back the history. We became a city because of the declaration that Canlaon City will be the summer capital of the Visayas. And it
Okay.
was declared by the former President Ferdinand E. Marcos. So, yun yung history.
So isipin natin, kung may mga requirements na maging isang city lugar, hindi kayo makakapasa.
Nung araw, hindi talaga. Oh, hindi talaga because area...
Malakas lang kayo kay President Marcos siguro nun.
During that time, because the mayor during that time, it so happened, an Ilocano. And parang
ganun pala
kumpare
yun.
sila. That is why, itong Canlaon, ang charter date nito is the birthday of Ma'am Imelda Marcos as well. Ito yun yung history.
So paano mo baguhin yan? Na hindi naman kayo dapat naging city. So how would you maintain the status of your city na city talaga kami? At paano mo tinutugunan?
Well, we prove it to them that our tourism destinations is being declared as an economic enterprise, and true enough, it was being visited by many local and foreign tourists. Second, our income. We have reached the target. We have hit the mark with regards to our income.
Magaling kayo mangulikta at magaling sila magbayad.
There is a slight problem when it comes to collection, but still, it is acceptable. It is a challenge to me now.
Correct.
That I have to make a better tax collection.
Sa tourism, ano mga improvements ninyo? Kasi parang ayaw nyo nang papaakyatin ang Balete Tree na napakatagal na panahon. Tell us something about that.
Okay, yung Balete Tree was being declared as one of the tourist attraction during the time of my mom. One thing was it was unseen and neglected that Balete Tree was being vandalized by the local tourists. Okay. So, pinalalagyan ng mga sulat yung puno, and when I sit as mayor, I immediately ordered na hindi na papalapitan. Okay. So, ngayon, makikita mo yung Balete Tree, slowly it recovers.
Ano daw kayo ngayon sa mga farm roads leading to tourist destinations?
Yes.
Like your waterfalls and inland resorts. Anong plano nyo? Pagandahin pa yung mga daan papunta doon para easy access?
Merong separate budget sa inland resort dahil medyo makitid yung daanan dyan. So, kailangan ng i-extend.
Canlaon is an agriculture area.
Yes.
Daming potential ng mga farmers natin. Tell us something about your programs for agriculture.
As of now, no, meron tayong tinatawag na RSBSA.
Okay.
So a certain farmer should be enrolled in that particular program for you to somehow receive assistance coming from the government, whether it is local or national. So as of now, during these pandemic days, I have approved 1,400 rice farmers tilling below 1 hectare. I give them bags of fertilizer and the amount of 5,000 pesos to ensure that the food security of the city will be ensured.
Meron pa daw kayong kinagigiliwan na Japanese rice.
Oh, meron din. So, merong Japanese institution dito na nagtatanim, which is so-called Uwiska. Yun yung sikat na namin dito. At saka Canlaon rice, iba kasi kami dito. Yung namin, yung rice field namin, hindi stagnant yung water. Flowing, kaya iba yung taste ng rice namin.
Okay. Ang Canlaon po ay dumanas ng marami mga pagsubok, like for example, mga threats, itong pagputok ng Mount Canlaon, mga earthquake, at marami pang threats, naturally. How do you intend to preserve itong magandang scenic view ng Canlaon, and siyempre, sa ilalim niyan, maraming mga flora and fauna, mga wild animals. Tell us about this majestic Mount Canlaon.
So one way to preserve the majestic looks and the flora and fauna in Mount Canlaon is not to allow inhabitants. That's why now I am very strict in the imposition of the law set forth by the PAMB, because Mount Canlaon is under
Ayaw mo
PAMB.
may dumalaw doon ngayon?
Allowed naman, pero ang ayaw ko lang doon, nalalagyan ng daan papunta doon. Kasi pag merong daan, pagandahin mo yung daan dyan, papuntang Mount Volcano, there will be easy access for cement and other construction materials for them to build big houses.
There's a company daw who is applying for quarrying permit.
Yes.
And you are not allowing it.
Yes.
Are you firm with that?
Not. Yes, definitely not.
Are you anti-mining, anti-quarrying?
Yes, of course. No? For it will protect our rivers, our...
Saan kayo kumukuha ng aggregates? Saan kayo kumukuha ng pang...
We just bought aggregates materials to our neighboring municipalities, San Carlos, La Castillana, and Magallaon, because they have quarry.
Pero dito, you want to preserve?
Yes, it will not be, unless there were clearance coming from the provincial government.
Parang pumuputok-putok ang Mount Canlaon in the past few days. May mga ash, spews. Mga evacuation. Ano yung mga disaster preparedness na ginagawa ninyo? Tell us something about that.
I made an inventory, and I found out that it was not enough, if ever. So I called up the 14 clusters. So meron kasi 14 clusters sa plan. Clusters sa DSWD na intended sila yung magmamanage ng mga evacuation center, sa engineering department, sa health department, sa agricultural.
How equipped is our disaster team, disaster office? May training ba sila?
Yes.
May program ba kayo na paigtingin at pa-strengthen talaga yung grupo ninyo?
Yes. Again, right after I assume office, I order the head of the LDRIM to conduct trainings to the barangay cluster LDRIM, because ilang taon na hindi na-activate yung LDRIM barangay.
Okay.
Yung B-DRIM na tinatawag.
Okay.
Dahil umaasa lang sila sa LDRIM, sa local.
Okay.
So pina-activate ko na kaagad yung B-DRIM, pina-train ko sila. And true enough, nagamit sila ngayon sa pandemic. Dahil part na yan
Okay.
sa training nila. So when it comes to manpower, the Canlaon City is equipped in the quick response.
We have our contingency plan on when and what to respond on that. And we have our 14 clusters. In the recent earthquakes happened last June 21 and 22, we are able to have our education information campaign on our 12 barangays, and also we are disseminating the Feebox bulletin in each barangay also, and we activate our operation centers into blue alert whenever the alert status of the Canlaon volcano will arise.
Sa pagpasok ng taong 2020, sinalubong ang bansa ng malalaking pagsubok, gaya na lamang ng pag-alboroto ng Bulkang Taal noong Enero. Ilang buwan lamang ang nakalipas, unti-unti namang naramdaman ang panakanakang paggalaw ng lupa at pagbuga ng steam sa isa pang aktibong bulkan ng bansa, ang Mount Canlaon. Dahilan upang itaas ng Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology sa Alert Level 1 ang sitwasyon nito. Kaya't puspusan ang paghahanda ng Local Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office ng Canlaon City sa anumang mangyayari, at patuloy ang pagpapabatid sa mga residente malapit sa paanan ng bundok na mga dapat itong gawin bilang pag-iingat. Isa pang hamong kinakaharap ng bansa at buong mundo ngayon ay ang paglaganap ng coronavirus disease o COVID-19. Bagamat may pagmamalaki ng lokal na pamahalaan ng Canlaon ang maagap at mahigpit na pagresponde nito upang maiwasan ang pagpasok ng nasabing sakit sa kanilang bayan, aminado ang otoridad na malaki ang naging epekto nito sa pang-araw-araw na kabuhayan, negosyo at mga ilulunsad sa ng proyekto ng gobyerno. Pagbabahagi ng alkalde, mula nang iimplementa ang community quarantine, iba't ibang pamamaraan na ang kanilang inilatag upang ayudahan ang mga nawalan ng mapagkakakitaan. Gayon din ang pagpapaunawa sa bawat residente na mga dapat nitong malaman ukol sa pandemya.
So, what's next dito sa pandemic, Mayor? Daming nangaluging negosyo, daming mga taong kailangang bumangon at may pag-asa pa ba? Problema nyo yung sa tubig, sa pangkalusugan, at pagbibigay ng livelihood para sa mga tao.
I make sure during the implementation of GCQ, ECQ, na hindi nagugutom yung mga tao.
Okay. But before that, alam ko na December pa lang,
yes,
nag-prepare ka na kasi alam mo na mangyayari ito?
Yes.
Pina-predict mo na ganito mangyayari?
Yes. December pa lang when there were news all over
2019.
2019. I already instructed my health officer, Dr. Calanza and Dr. Impiales, to conduct information campaign with regards to COVID.
Okay.
Kaya I was not surprised. I am not surprised that this will happen because nakikita ko na naging ganito.
So you start preparing by December, and that's the reason why?
Tinuturuan ko na yung mga tao dito how to be proactive with COVID. No? Hand sanitation is the most, and how using of face mask, lahat. December to January campaign pa yan dito sa city ko. Saka nung nag-hit na talaga yung COVID, nung meron ng issuance ng GCQ and ECQ to that effect, I make sure that my records sa mga constituents natin na kailangang may mga ayuda na matanggap is intact.
How are you going to ensure that you will bounce back? Mga hotel, mga tourist destinations ninyo, hindi ka ba kabato, or are you optimistic na makabawi pa rin at magpapatuloy ang magandang buhay dito sa Canlaon?
Yes, I am still positive with our tourism industry in Canlaon City.
Okay.
Come to think of it, and I want this that this will be pondered by the people kung saan tayo pupunta kung magbakasyon tayo.
Okay.
Kasi kung pupunta tayo sa highly urbanized city, for sure there will no social distancing in that area.
Okay.
So on my city, I have to take it as, shall we say, advantage to other cities no, na medyo crowded sila.
So you will really ensure na lahat ng pupunta rito safe?
Yes, that is one way. So in fact, as of now, we are very strict with our borders. So,
Paano makabangon ng mga farmers? Mga sugarcane planters,
Yes.
mga rice planters?
So with the farmers, I instructed the Department of Agriculture to make assistance to those vegetable farmers na nalugi. I already have my survey. Bibigyan sila ulit ng seeds at saka ng mga fertilizer. So that is part of my program. With regards sa rice, hindi masyado naapektahan dahil
Okay.
Stable pa.
You want to ensure that all basic services will be delivered. You have a plan to invest in a water system project. Tell us about that.
Yes, it is really important. Not just to me, but to my people, because we all know that water is the most basic needs of the people.
So anong gagawin?
I am planning to acquire a loan from NDFO because the era of the city cannot finance
Okay.
the project, because I want to address the problem of the 12 barangays of Canlaon City.
Yung 12 barangays, walang tubig? O paano ba? Mahina ang iba?
Walang proper, walang
Maraming namamatay
water
noon.
system.
Waterborne
Or
diseases.
people suffers through diarrhea.
Oh.
No, it's because yung nakasanayan, maglalagay lang ng mga polyethylene pipes diyan, not knowing na that is a commercial polyethylene pipes, and every time it rains, napapasok siya ng tubig. So we have lots of cases of diarrhea, and some dies because of that.
What about power supply? May mga sitio pa ba na kailangang abutin ng kuryente? How's the situation now?
Yes, again, during the time of my mom, if you remember the UILAW project by former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, it addresses 90% of the barangays and sitios in Canlaon City. That problem is being addressed. The last barangay that has no electricity in our area during the time of Mayor Cardenas, Inday, was being addressed, Barangay Bukalan. So then we moved to the sitios, and as of now, I think we are 95% energized sitios, not just barangay. But still, on the quest to let the people somehow experience electricity, so we still need to address. But I still have a fund intended for electrification program for, I think, 3 or 4 sitios.
Don't you think, Mayor, that it's high time that you will have a city hospital? Kasi medyo parang hindi natutugunan yung health services ninyo. Kulang kayo.
Ano kasi yung problema sa district hospital, it is managed by the provincial personnel.
And?
There are times that there are really gap with their services.
Okay.
I just give you an example.
Okay.
Paminsan-minsan walang doktor. With that city hospital, with that managed by the province, walang doktor. In fact,
Saan kayo pupunta?
kasi yung CHO natin is only good for
Health center.
health center natin dyan.
Consultation.
Consultation lang yan. So dyan, there were constituents na namamatay. In fact, last year, merong namatay dyan, 6 or 7 katao.
Simpleng ano lang.
Na simpleng sakit lang. You know what's the reason? There is no doctor, and it really pains me.
Okay. So what's your plan?
So I am planning to make my own city hospital.
Okay.
So, during the talakayan, I present it.
Okay.
And it was approved, amounting 70 million.
Okay.
And I present it to the Regional Development Council. Again, it was being approved. for
But
the
don't you
city
think that you
hospital.
also have to strengthen the barangay health centers?
Our health campaign is being naantala.
Okay.
Pero I make it sure na yung mga barangay health centers natin were being activated.
Okay. Mayor, hindi ba kayo nababahala with the pandemic, ang edukasyon ng mga kabataan? Don't you think that kailangan bang i-postpone ang opening? How do you react on the distance learning and everything? What do you foresee for the city?
Na to have a virtual class is really good.
Okay.
So, on my end, I just have to put a budget on my education, support to education, because education
But
campaign materials.
is this okay na ang hirap ng mga kabataan sa kabundukan,
Yes.
sa mga
Sa mga
probinsya kagaya
probinsya,
ninyo, no? Na walang
Walang
wifi,
signal, yun
walang
yun.
signal. Paano ba 'yon?
Kung meron tayong wifi, so yung counterpart namin sa city is to give gadgets to the students. No, example, 1 gadget good for 5 students, provided, however, that right after their class, they will disinfect it and have it used. So, because we cannot fund each student to have the gadget. No, that is excessive for the city, or we will be having a virtual classes from the teacher and the student.
Mayor, you will still have a long way to go in public service, and I know that marami kang gusto pang gawin sa ano mo. Nakikinig ba ng tatay mo ngayon? Do you think that he's satisfied with what you're doing? And what's your wish?
He always taught me that everything you do, you do it for the greater majority. You do not decide in favor to yourself,
Interest.
but you will decide in favor to the majority. So as of now, no, in order to move on, I have to somehow repair what he has started. Because kung makikita mo lahat ng mga establishment dito, siya yung nag-umpisa.
Okay.
Ito yung Uptown Market, yung Oval, yung Gymnasium.
Na-miss mo yung dad mo?
Oo.
Sinasabihan mo ba siya na guide him? He guides you?
Well, of course, no, every day as a Christian, and I really used to pray before I go to sleep. And I have to pray the health of my mom, the health of my brothers and sisters, no, the health of my relatives, and of course, the people of Canlaon. And lastly, no, my wish no, is for God to guide me and for my father to guide me no, to do what is right, to do what is best for Canlaon City. So that is why na para tayo makapag-umpisa, ayusin muna natin kung ano yung nasimulan. Kasi pangit naman na hindi mo ayusin, not just the project of my dad, the project of my mom. So ayusin ko muna lahat.
If there's one thing that we would like to ask from the President, and you have any message for him, what's that?
Mr. President, no, this is your calling to all the LGUs through your Executive Order number 70. So for the people really to feel the government, please, Mr. President, have one province or have one city as one of your pilot projects so that we have something to showcase to the national public, to the people, that the government is really true to his words, especially in addressing LCAP.
May gusto ka bang hilingin sa Presidente para sa bayan ninyo?
Yes, Mr. President, I will take this opportunity to please approve our request to the budget under LCAC, especially our city hospital. And of course, I have also one pending request in which it is now on the Senate to please approve also our request for division hood in Canlaon City. It will really address the problem of LCAC. And every student should have the right to be educated. No, kasi pag edukado yung isang tao, you will have the confidence of yourself. And please approve the request of the people of Canlaon City. It is not my request, it is the request coming from the people of Canlaon.
Para sa muling pagbangon ng Canlaon, mensahe niyo po sa lahat ng mga nasasakupan ninyo.
Sa lahat nating mga kababayan dito sa Canlaon, no, sama-sama tayong babangon. Rest assured that the funds of your government, because this is your government, this is not my government, this is your government, will be used wisely, to be used for livelihood, to be used for education, to be used for health, to be used for infrastructure project. You are all a part of it. Now rest assured that we will spend this wisely and we will make it sure that it will really reach to the grassroots.
Ang tapat na serbisyo publiko ay isang mabigat na misyong pinagsisikapang itinataguyod ng mga namumuno sa bayan ng Canlaon. Likas na katangiang mababakas sa mga ito ang patuloy na paghingi ng paggabay sa Diyos sa kanilang pagpapaabot sa serbisyong alay sa lahat. Nagdaan man ang nakababahalang banta sa seguridad, patuloy na problema sa kahirapan at malawakang isyu sa kalusugan ngayong may pandemya, buo pa rin ang kanilang loob na lahat ng ito'y malalampasan basta't mamamayani sa bawat isa ang pagkakaisa. Sa tulong ng pagkakaisa, makalilikha ito ng bagong mukha para sa mas matiwasay at progresibong syudad ng Canlaon.
Isyu One-on-One.